I'm Kiza.
Hi. Jupiter. Nice to meet you.
Used to have a little metal in you, kid.
I guess I'm getting a little old.
Old? Look at me. Not a record or a drop of juice in years.
You are a lot uglier than I remember.
Hey! Hey! What is going on here?
The Queen's bees have been informed that Her Majesty has passed away. I picked up this beautiful little tradition and I thought tonight it deserved a mention. On Friday, Palace beekeeper John Chappell performed a sombre but traditional duty, informing tens of thousands of bees about the death of Queen Elizabeth. According to reports, Chappell placed black ribbons around the palace hives and knocked on each hive to inform the bees, this is what he said, "The mistress is dead, but don't you go. Your master will be a good master to you." And it harks back centuries where there was a superstition held that bees might stop making honey following the death of the royal master or mistress. It's quirky, but it's another one of the wonderful traditions we're seeing play out here right across the UK.
Your Majesty.
Thank you.
I'll go to town to pick up some groceries for dinner.
I'll go.
I'm fine, Dad.
Okay. Right.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Your Majesty has no idea of the scientific miracles that human beings are capable of.
Why won't those human beings share things like this?
Sharing has never been the strong suit of your species, Your Majesty.
Okay. What is with this Your Majesty thing?
You've never been stung by a bee, have you?
No.
No, bees are genetically designed to recognize royalty.
Royalty? Wow. You are in for a surprise when you find out what I do for a living.
Oh, it's not what you do. It's what you are. They sense it. Bees aren't like humans. They don't question or doubt. Bees don't lie.
Revelation 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Time is 11:23. I'm on the hunt for the blur. I'm betting she'll come here to the Met Museum, looking for artifacts. And when she does, surprise, you're on America's unfunniest home videos.
As once you lived, Osiris, so shall you live again. Through the ritual of life, I shall restore your heart and claim your body for the soul.
I will never understand liberals.
I bring you forth, my love, Osiris, so that we may stand together and face eternity.
Me a whole series.
Pulse with blood that once was spilt. Beat again with love and life. Take this body for your own and rise to rule from your rightful throne.
crazy woman in tacky gladiator boots after me? No! No! This is what I had in mind!
There's got to be an easier way for a girl to get a date in this town.
Your heart is brave. But I can see it belongs to a lonely soul. A warrior with a vacant heart. And try to fill it, but the harder you try, the emptier it becomes.
Yeah, well, I may be lonely, but I'm still gonna kick your Egyptian ass.
If you truly meant to harm me, you would have done so by now. But you do not wish to hurt this body.
Childhood hang-ups. I was taught never to hurt a girl.
And I was taught never to hesitate.
And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
From the ashes, we rise up. We had Ash Wednesday. We want to rise up with Jesus at Easter. And I believe that there'll be some rising from this dying.
Hey, Vash. It is the 16th of April, 2019. And my schedule yesterday just didn't allow me to get to this. But this is quite fascinating, this Notre Dame Cathedral burning down. That's an understatement, but there are several things very quickly this morning that just were put out in front of me that are like, whoa, this is absolutely something significant going on here. And I'm just going to show you what I saw. And I'm sure I'm not the first one at this point to have seen what I'm going to show you, the iPet goat. Pretty much everybody in the world has probably seen this. But I made videos, I don't know, a year or two ago, showing this particular scene and seeing this as the collapse of the, quote, Christian church as the world knows it. There are true Christians, there are pseudo-Christians, there are all sorts of Christians, and not many of them even know what a Christian really is, never mind actually live like a Christian. But I digress. When this steeple here, this spire, falls, it's interesting to watch a very specific part of it. And I'm going to try and give you the comparison to these two first, the best I can. So we'll get this one started, and we'll bring this one up and get this going. And you can see, that's pretty crazy, right? But if you continue watching this one, the iPet goat, this is amazing because right as the spire's falling, you see this cross? This is the main cross on this cathedral. And watch as the spire takes out the cross right there, okay? At exactly 6:11 on the timestamp, and this is the original video. So right at 6:11, it takes out the cross. And oddly enough, if you look at this cathedral, right? I'm going through this article, and like I say, I haven't had a whole lot of time to go on this. Let me get rid of this here. But you'll see down here, somewhere, they put a lot of pictures on there. I have the wiki here, too. Let me get the wiki for you. Oh, yeah, it was the Boston Marathon yesterday, too. Right here. The cathedral was begun in 1160 and largely completed by 1260. 1160. And if you look at the timestamp on the iPet goat, 11:6, which also, you know, flip those around, you have 9/11, 9/11, right? But that's not all. The completed by 1260. Now, this is just crazy, but okay, the Boston Marathon, the 123rd I was kind of focusing on that yesterday a little bit because, I'm from Boston, blah, blah, blah. The Boston bombing, all those things that happened. And so the 1, 2, 3. But the other day, someone had mentioned to me about the black hole. They referred to it in a comment, and it caught my attention as perhaps representing the red dragon. The red dragon in Revelation 12:3. The 123rd Boston Marathon, which just, these are the way these things click with me. 12:3. So appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. Now, I'm just kind of running off of what's given me here, but this is very interesting, because the 1260 days, or years, 1260 rather, when it was completed, if you continue reading Revelation 12, you get down to Revelation 12:6, as in 1260, and the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God that she should feed her there 1,260 days. 1260 and 1260 on the cathedral. So I just keep seeing these things, and at the same time, there's so many things that take into consideration here. At the same time, yesterday, they were actually in Israel, and again, you gotta bear with me finding these things, because I'm just not set up right now, you know what I mean? In Israel, though, they slaughtered a goat. I mean, by the whole temple rules and all this stuff. Here we go. This is no lie. Passover sacrifice, and they do it like 4 days before Passover. I just find that to be very strange. I don't know. What do I know, right? The goat was prepared and roasted, burnt. So they sacrificed and burnt a goat at the same time that this cathedral was being burnt, right? This is just crazy stuff, you guys. I don't know how exactly to put this all together, but hopefully I'll get to it again later and put some more time into this, because, my spirit's like kind of going off the charts with all these things going on here.
Well, we have a little bit of good news coming out of Notre Dame. Thousands of bees that live on the roof there of the cathedral are still alive and buzzing.
Yeah, that's right. Notre Dame has housed 3 beehives just beneath the rose window since 2013. They moved in as part of an effort to fight bee die-off. Each hive has about 60,000 bees.
Well, the cathedral's beekeeper saying Monday's devastating fire did not harm the bees because they are below the main roof where the fire spread. The beekeeper says he won't know if all of the bees survived until he can go up and really inspect the hives, but he's pretty confident the hives did not burn because bees have been spotted flying in and out. A little bit of good news there.
There you go. We'll take it.
Yep. All right.
Frank? When's this gonna stop?
You should already know that. I want you to watch the movie Scream. There's something I want to show you. Have you ever seen a portal? days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven.
We return now to former President Obama's remarks today to students at the University of Illinois. From pointed criticism on the current state of politics to calling for more common ground, one message was consistent.
You cannot sit back and wait for a savior. We don't need a Messiah.
Now, God, I don't mean to hurry you along, but is there, something you'd like to tell Oprah?
Oh, yeah. I hear thou seekest a sign? Well, is this clear enough? Check it out. Take your time. I've been here for eternity.
All I can say, God, is that run is now a part of my exercise routine. I can tell you that.
Well, how do I make this clearer, Oprah? I know. Oprah Winfrey 2020. Yes, she can.
Well, there it is. You asked for it. There it is, Oprah. A big endorsement.
Okay. Lord, let me just say this to you. It's not something I've ever seen myself doing. It's not the kind of job that you can have without fully devoting yourself to it 100%.
Not really. Have you seen this White House? Come on.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
Okay. Everything's going to be okay, and I'm sure you're going to find someone that you are just inspired by in 2020.
I just got back from India, and I didn't shake any hands there, and it was very easy because they go like this, and Japan goes like this. They were ahead of the curve. Okay. Now we looked at each other. We said, "What are we going to do?" It's sort of a weird feeling.
U.S. President Donald Trump arrived in India on Monday to a raucous reception.
Namaste, Trump! Namaste!
Crowds of tens and thousands roared Namaste Trump at the world's biggest cricket stadium in Ahmedabad as he promised them a, quote, incredible new trade deal.
And I am pleased to announce that tomorrow our representatives will sign deals to sell over $3 billion in the absolute finest state-of-the-art military helicopters and other equipment to the Indian Armed Forces.
The rally was a larger version of the Howdy Modi event the two leaders attended in Houston last year to a crowd of 50,000 Indian Americans. India and the US have built close ties, and officials say Trump's two-day visit is a sign of their converging interests. One being to counter China's rise as a superpower.
Deepen the ties further.
But the two sides did not manage to hammer out a trade deal ahead of the visit, arguing over markets such as dairy and poultry, along with issues such as data storage.
People gathered here are eagerly.
India is one of the few big countries where Trump's personal approval rating is above 50%. Nationalist Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was re-elected last year, has shifted his country firmly to the right and touts his relationship with Trump a success. Modi pulled out all the stops on this visit, rolling out the red carpet at the airport and escorting Trump and wife Melania to Mahatma Gandhi's former home. Before a sunset visit to the Taj Mahal. The two leaders also shared pleasantries online. Trump tweeted using the Hindi language to say, "We are ready to come to India. We are on our way. We will be meeting everyone in a few hours." Modi replied with an old Indian phrase, "The guest is God."
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Forgotten hours when we escaped through the winking eyes and the secret handshakes. Disposable me, expendable you. Just take what you need and do what you do. You're taking me under. This heart has seen better days. You got my number, girl. There's no change in my ways. Over and over, you're on your own. Shapeshifters, 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 shapeshifters. I'm running from me, I'm hiding from you. There goes my alter ego. You know everyone that I know. Abandon the stream, abandon the truth. There goes my alter ego. You know all the people I know. Oh, you blew my cover. You're that kind of lover. You're that kind of lover. Whoa, you're taking me under. This heart has seen better days.
These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called, and chosen, and faithful. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
But September 11 is massively important. It's the sun rising in Virgo, isn't it? And of course, Washington, D.C. has got Maryland on one side and Virginia on the other.
That's right. And Pentagon is right, almost smack in the center of that square, by the way, as well.
Yeah, but that female thing, which is at the root of Freemasonry, much to the alarm of many Freemasons, the whole thing is about goddess worship equally with God worship. It's about the polarity of gender.
Mental health issues affect people of all ages, income levels, and cultures. No one is immune. Advocate for and promote mental well-being in your life and to those around you. You're not alone. the more you know.
Ka! It's you!
Yes, man cub. So nice to see you again.
Oh, go away. Leave me alone.
Let me look at you. You don't want me to look at you? Then you look at me.
No, sir. I know what you're trying to do, Ka.
You do? You don't trust me.
No.
Then there's nothing I can do to help.
You want to help me?
Certainly.
Okay. So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. Right? This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called the snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you." The border. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I have saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in." Does that explain it, folks? Does that explain?
Trust in me.